Ray Conroy, certainly here in Sydney, he's a man whose dulcet tones have heralded the fact on Friday night that you're either going to have a great weekend or you've done the ret.
Exactly right. He's a remarkable bloke, Mike. In talking to Ray recently when we did this story, he tells me that he can remember very vividly when you started on the newspaper, you were at greyhound meetings taking down the prices.
That's right. I was the dog tipster. Set everybody broke, inclling myself.
Well, that was about 45 years ago, wasn't it, Giver?
Well, they'd say newspapers, actually they had a chisel in those days. Chisel and a bit of stone, yeah.
It wasn't yesterday, Chappelli. It wasn't yesterday.
The greyhounds began a long time ago in Egypt, you see.
That's right. Yeah, you did them on a tablet. Mike, how often have you heard the expression, the retirement of so-and-so marks the end of an era? I think it's a loosely used expression, but in the case of Ray Conroy, it's pretty accurate because it does mark the end of a great era, an era in which we've seen the standard-bred breed improve dramatically to times, you know, popular arms and pale-face adioses, running times that we never would have believed. Ray's been through all of that, and he's been able to convey the excitement and the spectacle and the drama to millions of listeners on a radio network around Australia. I once heard it said that the only thing Ray Conroy's ever done wrong in his life was let a bucket of water run over once. And I think that says it all. Let's meet the man. Ray Conroy's been reporting for duty at Sydney trotting tracks for close to 40 years. Last Friday week, he entered his broadcasting box high above the Harold Park Paceway for the last time. He'd had a week full of farewell functions, a million handshakes, phone calls and telegrams. Emotions were running very high, but you would never have known. He called that final meeting with all the flair and expertise that have made him a household name with trotting punters of 3 generations.
Lord Bromley getting a rails run, and then Cheese Biscuit followed by Ira Bill, and back at the tail a long way back hand pass. Around the turn, New Ambition and Lee Camerjuster fighting it out. Lee Camerjuster's going to better. New Ambition is coming again, and then Take a Punt. New Ambition, Lee Camerjust, Take a Punt is finishing on. New Ambition kick that's going to win.
When young Ray Conroy appeared on the 2UW Amateur Hour hosted by Dick Fair in 1943, he wouldn't have dreamed that a career was unfolding.
In radio, when I was broadcasting the dogs and all that and doing a little bit of KY, I went and got a job there putting the trot session on the air, as you'll have trotting. And then when Ken Howard, who was a legend and a very good friend of yours, Johnny, moved to television in '56, they had to have someone to do the dogs, so they gave me the job. And that's how I really first started. From then on, Ken turned the trots up and I progressed.
Why do you have this special love and this special affiliation with the harness racing sport?
Well, I love it, John. It's a beautiful thing. It's been good to me. It's given me a great life, and I just love it. And I've always found the trotting people are good. So I'm a down-to-earth sort of a bloke, John. I never got on top. I got my feet in the ground. I'm a Western Suburbs bloke, and I'll always be a Western Suburbs. It doesn't matter if I lived in Bellevue Hill or over on Nob Hill in San Francisco. I'm still a Western Suburbs bloke, and I think me affiliating with the drivers and the trainers and talking to them and knowing their families, which I love to do, has helped me tremendously.
Ray Conroy has been unique in sports broadcasting as a non-knocker. He's never been known to criticise a competitor or an official in all those years behind the microphone.
I couldn't be rude to people, and it irritates me the way people talk rude to people. And John, yeah, sure, I'd like to blow up and say something, but I've never done it because the sport that I'm working in, if I start to knock it, I'm going to cruel it, and I love it too much to ever want to do that.
Ray's been known to ignore the race when a driver has been involved in an accident. He's preferred to relay to relatives and friends the condition of the fallen driver rather than call the actual event.
The race to me is nothing. The person's more important than the race. And I know they've got wives at home and they've got mothers at home. Now, you're a trotting driver, and any time you ever fell, first thing I think, I don't know whether Ann would be at the track with you, but I think she might be home, so I want to let Ann know that you're okay. So damn the race. You can get that later, and the race is nothing. You'd have it next time or some other race. No, the people's more important to me, John, and I like to do it.
Ray came up in an era of great racing commentators.
Fellas like Lockie Melville, Cyril Angles years ago was great. I model a lot of my style on Cyril, and that's where I've got that slow sort of a pushy call from. But I think the funniest and the loveliest I've ever had to listen to was Ken Howard. He was a legend. He was sort of things that he said, he revolutionised race calling, and now the late Ken Howard's gone, I've even at my age like to pinch a few of his little cliches and put them in because it reminds people of how great he was. But I think Australia's got the best race callers in the world, John. God, they're good. We're so good. We overpaint the picture, I think.
As they turn out of the back straight, take a punt on the rail.
Well, I've never thought I was a good caller. I didn't think I had much of a voice. I've never had an opinion of myself. I don't like my voice, John. If I hear it on the air when I'm coming through the trots, I'll walk away because I think it's a bit rough. But John, I've never considered to be a good caller, but I'm just as good as some of the others, and I love it, and I think I'll get it over well, and I'd like to keep doing it.
Bromley, Ira Bell, hand pass, and Warlock Tolliver after the bell.
Well, Mike, that's the man who's been to trotting, what Jack Little's been to wrestling, and Ted Lowe's been to snooker, and Frank Hyde's been to rugby league. Just unique.
And it seems very wrong that his voice should be quietened. Even though he's getting on, he's still got a few races left in him.
Yeah, and he enjoys the most splendid thing of all about retirement. He's got good health and he's got a million lovely memories.
That's terrific.
And we wish him and his wife, Alma, a very happy and healthy retirement. Good luck, Smokey. Okay.